Sleep. We here with the voice, which is El Jefe, and we here with me, Mike D, El Patron. We want to tackle the subject of why is it that black men don't want our black woman. So we gonna lead it off and let Sleep say something because he had a very good point right before we came live. So go ahead, Sleep.
You know, the main point why we don't want them is because their entitlement to what they should get from us as men, when other women in other races, the self-sense of entitlement is not as high.
I agree with that. And not only the sense of entitlement, but the what they call it when you're demure and you are when women
Submissive?
I mean, perfect word. Yes, they're more submissive than say American women.
I don't mean to say this to be blaming people, but I think a lot of the blame come from the woman that's raising these young men by themselves, because 9 times out of 10, they don't have the black man in the home. Not 100%, because they chase them away for not being submissive or whatever reason. So they don't teach their man to be a man, because a woman can't teach a man to be a man. So therefore, they grow up and they don't have any semblance of what it is to be a man. Then the young ladies that's coming up, they looking for a man, and the men don't know how to be a man. So I believe a lot of the women is responsible for making this situation be not just from feeling entitled and stuff like that. They make the next generation man not be men. And women say they want a masculine man and stuff like that, but they teach their men not to be masculine.
But how many single mothers do you know or have heard say, I don't need no man, I could raise a kid on my own?
All of them.
About. I can't say 100%.
Women with men say the same shit.
So that in turns goes to the part that I'm talking about. How is it that you can be a woman, right, and say you don't need a man? So you're over masculine. You're more of a man than I am if you don't need me. That's how I see it.
Well, when like you trying to fill a void that you really can't fill, and that means that a woman can never teach a man how to be a man.
And I think a lot of women throw a lot of double negatives in there.
Well. Here's what I heard today this evening. Speaking to a woman, she spoke about how she raised her daughter, as opposed as
this
she
happened today.
Raised to a man, and her daughter said to her. Her daughter said to her, "Why are you raising him this way to be weak?"
And that's one of the reasons why I said what I said about
women raise
them making
men
men to be weak. Yes. And that's part of the problem. That's
and
only
a lot
part
of
the
those,
problem.
No, answering your question, a lot of those ladies teach the men to be weak because whether they admit it or not, that's the man that they want. They want a motherfucker to hear and listen and be part of that. You know what I'm saying?
So do you think any of this has to do with accountability, about a woman taking accountability that they're responsible, and then that's why they say they don't need a man, or believe that they need a man because they know what they preach at home and know what they saying in front of the young man and stuff like that, that they're not taking accountability about their responsibility of saying why men are like they are and not wanting them? Because I'm gonna say something. Do you believe that if you around something that's always saying you negative, whether they saying it about you or nothing, but they saying it about
like
your kind,
right,
and you realize that you are that kind, because sooner or later, no matter what, once you get into a space, you're gonna realize that you are a man, that's what make you not even want to be with that. So you dealing with somebody that's being bitchy all the time without having a man at home in front of you, make you say, I don't want to be with that type of shit?
I say yes and no. And this is why I say yes. Because us as boys, we turn into men. That's the first thing.
Boom.
The next thing is that women single women, I say, mainly, that have boys, they don't let them grow up. Because in my era from coming up, I would see a lot of women say, oh, I got to get my son a car because I don't want the gangs to get him. Then they turn around and say, oh, I got to get him a nice car because I don't want the police pulling him over. It's all about protecting a man. A woman shouldn't be trying to protect a man. A man is to protect the women. Am I right?
Be it their son or or their husband or brother. I mean, I can understand that. The thing is, and that's what the point was. I think that the lady was saying that her daughter said is,
and that's what a weakness
you're
comes
teaching them
from.
to be to not be the head of the house or to be the provider. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to look at it. Single family women, single mother households, they are the one that are providing for the son. So what is the kid going to look for? Being a man,
He's going to look for a woman to provide
for him. Exactly.
So there, to me, that's just making them weak.
I agree. I definitely agree with that. So my question would be at this point, do you believe that a woman can raise a man to be a man?
No.
Check this out. I believe a woman can assist in having a man grow in front of her, but to be a man, she can't teach a man to be a man because
you can't
not
teach him something you're not, right?
Exactly. So that's where I'm going. But a woman can raise a man because I mean, my father was there, but my mother was
so yes
90% responsible for bringing me to where I am and stuff like that.
That's what a woman is, right?
But I did have my father to show me some manly things once I did walk in a different direction.
Okay. Now, with saying that, right, I'm pretty much 80-90% of my mom trying to raise me, right? But the part that she raised was how for a man to treat a woman. It wasn't about how to be a man. So how I learned to be a man, right, is I had a lot of men in my life that weren't successful. So everything that I see them do, I did the total opposite. And that's how I turned out how I am.
No disrespect.
Because you can learn something from everyone.
No disrespect. I go into some of my red pill tutelage. A woman teaches a man how to treat a woman in the respect of keeping a man subservient to a woman. You was able to get out of that by dealing with the other brothers. I can't really say that. But
he did it
a woman 100% teaches men to stay in the same cycle of miseducation, to treat a woman, to make a woman, you take care of a woman and stuff like that.
You can learn what not to do by watching what other people do. That's basically what I got out of that. Maybe I'm wrong.
But the part that I was saying was the things that I needed to be a man, she didn't teach me.
She couldn't.
That's the point that I'm making. The only thing that she taught me was how you should treat a woman. That's it.
And she can only tell you that being a woman. Or how she feels.
Or how she feels that she should be treated as a woman.
As a woman, right.
So,
and that's my point. To teach you to... Most of the blue pill men that's trained to be subservient to women is taught that by their mom.
See, but
they're responsible for the whole reason why weak women teach men to be weak and subservient to women throughout the whole course, through the educational system and everything. Because 90% of teachers in America are women, and they trying to teach the boys to be subservient to women. And I'm only using the word
how to please a woman.
I'm only saying subservient.
Only how to please a woman, and that's
but they don't even really teach you how to please a woman, because the only way to please a woman is by being a man. You cannot teach.
Maybe the word pleasing is the wrong word. Yeah. But what I'm saying is
what they like. Maybe how about
right? That? Yes, they will definitely teach them what they would look for in a man. So yes, we go with that. Is that it's not that a woman teaches him that it is what she thinks a man is, which we know for each woman, a man is different,
or how they want a man to treat them,
which is different. Dude, all of that, each woman that has a feeling because of what she's going through in her life.
Right.
So how she looking at that.
So we basically saying the same thing is
Yes.
that they don't know the broad perspection of being a man, because what you want personally from a guy is differently from what just a man brings to the table outside of everything.
Well, let me say this. I have daughters. I'm a girl dad, no doubt about it. Thing is, I never thought to myself that I could teach them how to be women, because I can't. Dude, that was something that was beyond me. The thing is, as you just said, I taught them, and in my opinion, is what to look out for, how motherfuckers out here treating women. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about, like, the thing of, dude, this is what you're gonna deal with. You know what I mean? Just being a woman, and you have a daughter, don't you?
Yeah.
So you, I think you understand what I'm saying, because like you said, even as far as saying, hey, you got to walk 2 blocks, catch the bus, go where you got to go. You see what I'm saying? So, I when it comes to that, because women are the ones who care for and raise the family, they teach the women to be stronger, but the men to be weaker.
So, do you teach your daughters to be stronger or weaker?
I teach them to be. I try to teach them to be stronger and self-sufficient. Now, looking at how the dynamics of
Thanks for being honest.
what they have
one.
to do. I have to be, and that's the thing. I teach them to be self-sufficient to the point where, hey, you have to do this. No matter how much I try to teach them, you can't fuck with a sucker ass nigga. That is what it is.
Yeah.
Dude, that is what it is, and that's all I can say about that. But I guess I say that I've learned to, or try to see. I see things differently, as far as, like, when you start dealing with the red pill shit. Dude, my life is red pill, but fucked up. I had to teach. You know what I'm saying? It kind of can be contradictory. When I think of that, you know what I mean? Because I do not want my daughters to be suckers or none of that shit. Which,
Well, I teach my daughter mainly, the first thing is what I like to see out of women. And that's your hair done, your nails done, you're smelling good, and you having a good aura about yourself, a great attitude. That's what I teach my daughter. And then on top of that, I reiterate everything that you do for yourself. If you find a guy that can't do for you what you can do for yourself or better, I don't think he's the guy for you. And that's what I teach her.
respect. I respect that. I mean, the fact
Now,
is,
that's the only thing I can teach my daughter. You know what I mean?
My man.
Outside of that, I don't.
That's respect.
Everything
That's
else is on her mom.
and I'll go back and I'll say, what I do try to teach them is to love themselves. So, which is the bottom line, because once you do that, that's the basis that's your foundation of everything. You love yourself. Motherfucker come to the picture. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have any deficiency or any wanting of anything outside of yourself, and you love yourself enough, you don't have to depend on that. You know what I'm saying? That need, the need that we were talking about earlier.
And you just reiterated, you know what I'm saying? If you love yourself, and like I said, if you love yourself and you have a guy and he doesn't love you as
You're
much
not
as
gonna
you love
deal with that.
yourself or more,
You're not gonna
please don't
with that.
deal with
My
it.
man. You're not gonna deal with that. So yes, that I would have to say that yes, I do try to teach them. I have tried to teach them that, and it comes out of that. So yes, I do. That is on point.
Yeah, so that's the only thing that I could teach as far as that. But
Insert excuses here. Please like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
And if you have any comments or suggestions about this subject, please feel free to let us know, and we will revisit this subject. Thanks for all the love, people.
Please like and subscribe.
Like, subscribe.